Right now, the Florida Nature Coast is in the middle of a boom you can't ignore, and it's happening right here. Two places are setting the pace with neighborhoods rising, businesses buzzing, and a sense of momentum you can feel when you walk down the street. I've seen these places, I've watched them grow, I've watched them change and keep that small town heart, and now the rest of the world is finally catching on. So, let's take a closer look at why these spots are thriving and why they're some of the most exciting places to keep an eye on right now on Florida's Nature Coast. Out here on the Nature Coast, the change is impossible to miss. You're driving down the road you've been taking for years, and suddenly there's fresh pavement, street lights where there used to be stars, and the sound of hammers and saws in the air before the sun's even up. Stop into a local coffee shop and you'll hear it. Neighbors talking about the house they just closed on, a new school breaking ground, or the restaurant moving in down the street. There's so much going on around here. And this isn't just growth, it's the next chapter for a place that's always had the heart and the space and the potential, I guess, but now it's all coming together, and the best part, you don't have to wonder where to start. I'm gonna take you straight to it. First stop, the town that's stretching at the seams, building new neighborhoods with intent, and still keeping the community feel that makes people want to stay for good. Now, Spring Hill is stretching at the seams. On a Monday morning, you'll see new streets being paved, foundations poured, and sold signs before the drywall's even up. Builders like D.R. Horton, Pulte, Homes by West Bay are moving fast, opening new phases in Caldera and Waterford, while established favorites like Silverthorne and Pristine Place, where I've lived in both of those, keep drawing families who want that gated feel without Tampa's price tag. Just last month, I showed a home in Caldera to a couple relocating from Tampa. They stepped into a backyard with no build behind, a conservation area, and couldn't believe they could get that space and that quality of home for the same price as their old townhome. By the end of the weekend, we're under contract and life was about to change for them. And location plays a huge role. With the 589 toll road cutting commute times to under an hour into Tampa, you get job access without the congestion or the higher costs of Land O'Lakes, Lutz, or Wesley Chapel. But it's also about space. Larger lots, more green between the homes, and neighborhoods that feel like communities, not just rooftops. And the great thing is that amenities are keeping pace with growth. Sterling Hills Rec Center, ball fields, and playgrounds stay busy. There's new parks, school expansions, and then the commercial hubs along Mariner Boulevard and State Road 50 keep adding to the daily convenience. Even weekends have their own rhythm here, from kids' games on Saturday mornings to quick drives to Weeki Wachee for kayaking or paddleboarding in crystal clear waters. Maybe you might want to make your way over to Anderson Snow Park and check out the newly opened Splash Pad, a welcome and gorgeous addition to the area. Maybe you want to go out on the water and hit up the flats in Hernando Beach. It's all right here for you, ready to be explored. If this is the kind of place you can see yourself in, don't wait. Our real estate team is in these neighborhoods every day, and we know the builders, the deals, and the hidden gems that don't even make it online. Call, text, or email us anytime. All of our contact information is on the screen and in the description below. But while Spring Hill gets the spotlight for its pace and accessibility for obvious reasons, just a few miles north is a town with a completely different kind of boom. One built on charm, character, and slower, richer lifestyle. My place where I live, Brooksville. Now, Brooksville's always been the quieter cousin on the Nature Coast, the kind of place where the pace matched the sway of the oak trees lining Main Street, but now you pull into downtown and the change hits you before you've even parked. The smell of fresh coffee drifts out from the cafes and coffee shops. Century-old brick storefronts gleam with fresh paint, and the sidewalks are alive with people heading to the shops, farmers markets, and the weekend events, and there's plenty of them. It still feels small town, but there's a new current running through it. For a lot of our clients, the magic is in the mix, so drive through Southern Hills and you'll see winding streets framed by rolling greens with elegant homes perched just beyond the fairway views. Downtown has that historic core charm with wraparound porches and 100-year-old oak trees, while Leyland Preserve is catching the eye of clients who want a convenient location, brand new construction, and a price point that cannot be matched in most of Tampa's suburbs. On top of that, there's a new lagoon community going in, breaking ground in 2026 or 2027, right by I-75 for unparalleled access to Tampa and amenities galore. And then there's the investment angle. I've had clients come here expecting too quiet and leave talking about how much potential they see. One client picked up a century-old home just off of Main Street for less than a small condo closer to Tampa. And now they're in the middle of a full renovation, keeping the original old pine floors, but adding modern kitchens and baths. the kind of blend that makes a property stand out in this market and the type of thing I love coming from the UK and living in downtown Brooksville myself. So what's fueling the shift? New businesses setting up shop, infrastructure improvements on US 41, and a growing number of people deciding they'd rather trade in suburbia's speed for a pace where you can enjoy a Saturday farmer's market, catch live music in the park, and still have an easy drive to Tampa or Orlando when you need it. It's not about replacing Spring Hill's pace, it's about offering something entirely different. Now, I've got to ask, if you had a choice, would you go for Spring Hill's fast-growing suburban convenience or Brooksville's historic charm and slower pace like me? Tell us in the comments and share why. I love seeing the different perspectives, and your take might just help someone else figure out where they belong. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The real story isn't just that these towns are growing, it's how they're doing it, and why the playbook here is completely different from what's happening in the bigger, flashier markets. Here's the thing, growth in Spring Hill and Brooksville isn't like the boom you see in other parts of Florida. In some of the Tampa suburbs like Wesley Chapel, the homes are so close you could shake hands with your neighbor from the window. Here it's a different story. Neighborhoods still have some breathing room, quarter-acre lots plus, mature trees left standing, streets that curve and open into parks instead of just more rooftops. And clients are coming here from places like Land O'Lakes or Wesley Chapel, and they're telling me it feels like stepping back into what Florida used to be back in the day. More space, more green, and more community. One couple I worked with traded in a smaller suburban lot for a home in Caldera with enough backyard for a pool, garden, and there's a towering oak tree that's been there longer than the neighborhood itself. They still make it to work in Tampa in under an hour thanks to the 589 toll road, but really don't mind the drive for the lifestyle trade-off and the larger home. And we're also seeing a steady wave of families from high-cost states like New York, New Jersey, and California. They're swapping cramped condos on postage stamp lots for full-size homes with wide open yards, often at the same price or less. And that kind of leap in quality of life is tough to ignore, and it's adding fresh energy to the community while keeping its character intact. And unquestionably, value plays a big role here. There's builders in Avalon, Caldera, and Southern Hills that are still putting real offers on the table. Rate buy-downs, closing cost assistance, upgraded kitchens, 3-car garages, and clients aren't forced to choose between the features that they want and the payment that they can manage. The heartbeat of it all is balance. In Spring Hill, some schools are expanding, shopping hubs are growing, and the community has some real momentum. And then in Brooksville, Saturdays might mean the farmer's market in the morning, downtown cafe or restaurant for lunch, and a porch view of the sunset by evening. It's progress without losing the pace that makes living here feel right. For locals, that balance is worth holding on to. For anyone thinking about making the move, the door is still open, and it's a rare find in this part of Florida. Now, living in Florida's Nature Coast isn't just about these two areas though, so let's talk about the blink and you'll miss them spots that locals are quietly proud of and clients are starting to notice in a big way. Head west from Spring Hill and you'll reach Hernando Beach. Now, that's not a beach in a postcard sense with miles and miles of white sand, but it's a waterfront lifestyle where the backyard is your boat slip, and Shoreline and Osawa Boulevard offer some of the most jaw-dropping Gulf sunsets you'll ever see. This is laid back, salt in the air living, and the good homes here move fast. Fresh fish is the order of the day at the fantastic Brian's Place, or enjoy outdoor tiki eating on the water at Hernando Beach Tropica Grill, watching the sunset. This is Gulf front living that you've always dreamed of without the price point of Tarpon Springs or Tampa Bay. Continue north to Homosassa and it feels like stepping further into old Florida. Manatees gather in the river, fishermen unload their catch at the docks, and new homes are tucked between historic cottages. The scent of fresh seafood at the freezer is part of the town's heartbeat. I drive up there all the time to sample it, and it's only getting stronger. Weeki Wachee is pure magic. Yes, there are mermaids here, but the real draw is the springs. The water is spring-fed and so clear that you can see the bottom even from the bank. Imagine kayaking from your backyard in the morning and being home in time for dinner and grilling out. There's new homes appearing near US 19, but the natural beauty still calls the shots, and you can get a new home in a new community which has a lagoon on US 19 for only $275,000 as I make this video. You can travel south to Newport Richey and you feel the energy shift. There's a downtown there that hums with life around Sims Park, on the Piflachascotty River, and there are craft breweries, waterfront festivals, and homes getting scooped up as soon as they hit the market down there as it's really undergoing this great revival. And that's because it's close enough to Clearwater and Tampa for convenience, but be far enough away to keep its own identity. Now, each of these places has its own rhythm and personality, but they share one thing, and that is the people who move are looking for similar things. They aren't looking for Tampa, they are looking for a rare piece of Florida that can only be found on the Nature Coast. Now, the beauty about Florida's Nature Coast is that there are options. From the momentum-driving Spring Hill to the quiet but undeniable rise of Brooksville, and those other special spots like Hernando Beach, Homosassa, Weeki Wachee, and Newport Richey. The Nature Coast is in motion, and the people who understand it now are the ones who can take advantage of what I would consider to be Florida's best hidden gem. Now, if this area caught your attention, it feels like a place you could call home, lean into that feeling. We want you to reach out and give us a call. You can call, text, or email us. The details are right here on the screen and in the description below. We live and work in these neighborhoods every single day, and we know where the real opportunities are before they hit the public radar. We've been selling homes here for the last 20 years, and we would love to help you. And if you want to keep exploring, I've lined up a playlist for you that goes even deeper into Spring Hill neighborhoods, Brooksville market trends, and the lifestyle that makes the Nature Coast different from anywhere else. Just click and keep going. Your next favorite place might be the very next video. And as always, thank you for watching. We appreciate you sticking with us, and we'll catch you on the next one. I'm Ross Hardy from the Hardy team. It's time to love where you live.